Hi, I'm Blark257, and welcome to DASHDANCE, the show where we take a look at where Melee has just been and where it's about to be. Now, I apologize for the quality of the shot and the awkwardness of it, and maybe a couple other things that you're likely to notice throughout this video, but I'm in Italy on vacation and things are a bit different in this apartment. I don't have my tripod because I couldn't pack it, so there's nowhere good to put my phone, but luckily my microphone would still fit in the bag, so I can film it from my laptop if I can find a spot, and here we are. And Melee still rolls on without me, and the first thing we've got to cover is the lead story, OpTic Arena's Grand Championship. The Texas tournament appeared to be set up from the beginning to pit Hungrybox against one of the best Falcons in the world in Winners Finals. And indeed, that was exactly what happened, with Wizzrow giving SJ the business in his side of Winners Semis, avenging a loss to the SJ Falco in Game 3 with a clean 3-stock in Game 4, and meeting Hungrybox in Winners Finals. Right from the jump, it was clear that Wizzrow had more to bring to the table than in any of his previous attempts this year at beating HBox, as he took games 1 and 3 to go up 2-1 on the best player in the world. But it was not to be, as Hungrybox won games on FD and Yoshi's to stay in winners for grands. After a hiccup in Game 1, Wizzrow comfortably won Losers Finals and came back ready to win, as he destroyed Hungrybox as no one else has in years and years in the first set of grands, getting 3 2-stocks in a row for the 3-0 reset. Hungrybox pushed back with a win in Game 1, and after losing Game 2, a win on his counterpick of Dreamland in Game 3, but after runbacks from both players, Wizzrow won Game 4 and 5 on Dreamland, and was crowned the winner of OpTic Arena. His impeccable escape game and barrage of knee setups really showed the potential of Falcon in this particular matchup, and padded his case for number 7, drawing ever closer to Amsa and Zane, if not outright jumping over them. The other main story from this tournament is pretty much the same as last week's Texas tournament. Other than Wizzrow, the Falcons for the most part had a bad day here, as half of them were eliminated by the same player, as Texas Icy's player Bananas made a splash once again. Bananas made his way back in the collective mindset when, after losing to Hungrybox and eking out a win over Albert's Falco, he 3-0'd None, taking yet another top 30 win, then did the same to S2J in a trio of last stock games, punching his ticket to loser semis, where Absent Page finally slowed his roll. In the history of Melee, Ice Climber player after Ice Climber player has discovered the power of God and climbed the ranks at rapid speed. It will be interesting to see if Bananas really is following in the footsteps of Diskit Boogie, and if he is, how long he'll be able to sustain this pace for. Speaking of Absent Page, his third place finish is significantly less surprising than it would have been just 1 month ago, but the run he's on refuses to stop, as here, he added to it by blowing out Gutsu, then taking wins on Mojo and Swedish Delight, getting revenge from Combo Breaker, before being stopped by the eventual victor, Wizzrow, after beating Bananas in loser semis. It's only a matter of time before placements like this become the standard, and not the deviation, for Absent Page, and indeed that may already be true. Other highlights include a Game 5 set won by Swedish Delight over None, a chaotic doubles bracket that was eventually taken by Absent Page and Snowy, and fittingly a Falcon round robin won by None over S2J, Wizzy, Gutsu, and local talent Stick. The full top 8 was Wizzrow at first, Hungrybox at second, Absent Page at third, Bananas at fourth, S2J and Swedish Delight at fifth, and None and Uncle Mojo at seventh. Another tournament did happen last weekend that I completely forgot about in last week's show. Apologies to the very real Saints Gaming Live, a tournament dominated by Mewtwo King, who lost 1 game to Ryan Ford in Grands and was not touched otherwise. The main highlight was the absurd number of Spacies games at top 8, as all but 2 players therein, Mewtwo King and Heartstrings, played either Fox or Falco, and on top of the hill were Ryan Ford, KJH, and the Canadian Falco Trulian, who picked up dominant victories on KJH, who later avenged himself in loser semis, and Ginger. Other points of interest were British Columbian Fox main Litstar's 7th place finish, punctuated by a Game 5 set with KJH, and the rare appearance of Brawl and Smash 4 legend Larry Lurr in Melee singles. The full top 8 was Mewtwo King at first, Ryan Ford at second, KJH at third, Trulian at fourth, Ginger and Slox at fifth, and Heartstrings and Litstar at seventh. For our dash forward this week, we've got a bit of a mixed bag. There are 3 tournaments worth mentioning, and none of them really stand out above the other, so I'll briefly go over each. First off, there's a DreamHack going on in Sweden. DreamHack Summer 2018 has Armada in attendance, as all of them have, given his role in assuring the tournament's existence, but he has no competition. The closest player to him is Android, his brother. A few Europeans are under them, such as Dady, a Samus player who has a win on Disc Hit Boogie, and Swedish Fox Zoller, but little of note is likely to happen at the very top, though if it does, it'll be remarkable. Part of the reason for the lack of competition at DreamHack is the registration of the Kings of Spain, Triff and Over Triforce, at Omega 2 in New York. The headliner here is Zane, and the field underneath is thick with Northeastern talent, with Swedish Delight, Laud, Rishi, Absent Page once again, Slox, and the aforementioned Spaniards in attendance, in addition to several other players. This tournament should be a lot of fun, and there's plenty to look forward to, as many potential matchups will be very close among the top tiers of players there. It reminds me of the Super Nebula series, which always seemed to have a lot going on. Great to see New York put out another great regional. The last noteworthy event this week is Smashville 7. As of this writing, it's a player versus the world type deal, but funnily enough, that player is not any of the top 6, but instead, it's none. Who, though well above his closest competition in the field, in Kells, is not close to the level of daunting of players above him. Should be an interesting battle, as top Midwest talent like Kells, Dreffen, Abate, Cal, and Cobb, the Peach that beat Lucky at Smash and Splash, will fight against each other and the Canadian Invader in the quest for first. Regardless of which tournament you choose to check out, there should be something interesting going on, and I'll be sure to report on it when I see you next week. Anyway, welcome to Rome, and thanks for watching. Next week I'll be in London, and we'll see if Theresa May lets me push upload on YouTube, but it should be fine. Anyways, if you like the content, subscribe if you already haven't, or follow me on Twitter at Blark257, and if you want to see the whole thing, here's a playlist with every episode of the show that I've put out to date, and I'll see you soon.